Hello children, Krishna ma'am here. Welcome to my English class. Today we are going to learn a very interesting poem. The name of the poem is A Photograph, written by Shirley Toulson. Children, whenever we read anything, whenever we study anything, first we look at the title. Now what is the title of this poem? A Photograph. The title itself is very interesting. Now when you say the word photograph, do you recall something? Many memories come to your mind. So the same thing is here in this poem. The poem collects a lot of memories of Shelley, that is the poetess. Now this poem is divided into 3 stages of life. First one is when the poetess mother was very young. That is long back when she was very young. And the second stage when she was of the middle age, and the third stage, that is the present time when she was writing, when her mother was dead long back. So in this poem, the poetess, she has written about the memories told by her mother. When her mother was young, she went to the sea beach and she told her daughter about all those memories, that how did she enjoy that day. So now let's come to the poem. I'll read the poem to you and I will explain to you in 3 stanzas. That is, the cardboard shows me how it was when the 2 cousins went paddling, each one holding one of my mother's hands, and she, the big girl, some 12 years or so, all 3 stood still to smile through their hair at the uncle with a camera. Okay, I'll explain up to here. First of all, what is the cardboard? The cardboard shows me how it was. What it was? The scene. The thing her mother was explaining, that is, it was. So what was that? What was that on the cardboard? First of all, I'll show you what is the cardboard. The cardboard carries a deep meaning here. The cardboard is a hard piece of paper where the photograph is pasted. Nowadays, children, all of you have access to mobile. You take pictures, you take photographs, you capture all your lovely moments in the mobile, and everything is captured, everything is recorded. Everything is recorded in the soft copy. But in olden days we had to depend on the camera. And with camera, we have to take the printout of the photo, and when the photo was there, when you have to preserve it for long, they paste it to the cardboard or you get it framed. So the cardboard itself is something which shows preservance. So when the picture was pasted on the cardboard, that shows that it had to be preserved. Now there is a contrast over here because it shows contrast with the life. The life itself is very transient, very short-lived. So the moments captured in that photo, it was pasted on the cardboard. So that was preserved. So now, it shows me how it was when the 2 cousins went paddling. Now what is paddling? In this poem, the mother, she went to a sea beach. So when they went in the shallow water, walking in the shallow water of the sea, that is paddling. So the 2 cousins, who were those cousins? They were Betty and Dolly, the 2 cousins of her mother, and they were younger to her, because here it shows my mother's hand and she, the big girl. Now who was she? Her mother. Who was the big girl? Her mother. Her mother was standing in between, and Betty and Dolly, who were younger to her mother, they were holding her mother's hand, and they smiled through there. They all 3 stood still. Stood still means they were standing there without moving. They were standing to pose for the camera which was held by their uncle. So, okay, smile through the hair. What is smile through the hair? Smile through the hair. Even these lines, these words tell many things. It tells somehow there is a imagery over here. It shows that the sea breeze was blowing, and the hair of all these three girls, it was blowing in the breeze, and it shows the innocence of these three girls also. And all three girls, they had a carefree and innocent look. They were very happy. And as a reader, we can also feel the cool breeze of the sea, which was blowing the hair of the three girls, and they were smiling. They were smiling to pose for the camera. Now, I'll read for the sweet face, my mother's, that was before I was born, and the sea, which appears to have changed less, washed their terribly transient feet. A sweet face, my mother's, that was before I was born. Through these lines, the narrator, the poetess, through these lines, Shelley, she says that her mother was very pretty, and that was before she was born. That's natural, because when this photograph was taken, her mother was hardly 12 years old. So she was very pretty that time. And the sea, which appears to have changed less. Children, these two lines, these are very important lines, because that shows, these lines shows the transience of life. That is, life is very short-lived, and the nature is eternal. So here it shows the contrast between the life of human being and the eternal nature of the nature itself. That is, nature is eternal, it never dies, it doesn't change. So here Shelley shows it through the sea, that the sea has not changed at all, while the water of the sea, which washes three children's feet, those feet, it has changed. It has changed means the feet has moved on. Life has moved on, and her mother herself. Okay, children, now this is the second stage. I'll read it out for you. Some 20-30 years later, she'd laugh at a snapshot. See, Betty and Dolly, she'd say, and look how they dress us for the beach. The sea holiday was her past. Mine is the laughter. Both ride with the labored ease of loss. Even this stanza is very beautiful. This is the second stage of her mother. Some 20-30 years later. In the first part, she was 12 years old. Now some 20 to 30 years after that, she was sitting with her daughter, that is Shelley, and she laughed at snapshot. Snapshot is a photograph itself. Now she showed the photo to her daughter and says, see, Betty and Dolly, means that the cousin sister, the name was Betty and Dolly. So she was telling, look at them. Look how they dress us for the beach, means she was amused. She was amused at those days. Those days they have to get dressed, especially for going to the beach also. All three of them. So and she enjoyed these moments. The word here, she'd laugh at the snapshot. With these lines, the poetess shows that her mother is sharing happy moments with her daughter. So they're enjoying that moment together. And now after that, what's there? The sea holiday was her past. Mine is her laughter. Now here, the poetess, she's comparing her mother's loss with her own loss. Now what is her mother's loss? Her mother's loss is that sea holiday, that is the past. Because she cannot get back those moments. She cannot get back the childhood, those happy moments of the childhood. So that was her loss. Now what is the narrator's loss? What is the poetess' loss? Mine is her laughter. Her loss is the laughter of her mother, because now her mother is no more. So she misses the laughter of her mother. Now both rye with the labored ease of loss. Now what's the meaning of rye? Rye means, the laughter of rye means something of the beautiful line. Both rye with the labored ease of loss. Now what is rye? Rye, the laughter to rye means laughter with a hint of sadness. Now what is a hint of sadness? Children, sometimes we laugh, but in that laugh, there's a sadness inside us. There's a sadness inside us for few things which we cannot get back. Now, why the rye? Why the laughter rye here? With the labored ease of loss. Now, what is labored ease? Okay, there's a contrast here. There's a contrast here. So there's a poetic device here also. I'll tell about the poetic devices in this poem later, after the end of this poem. So what is the labored ease? Labored ease means labored. This word suggests a lot of effort. And ease, what does it suggest? It suggests effortlessness. So there's a contrast. One thing suggests effort and one word suggests effortlessness. Means, what does it mean? It means that both of them, they have to struggle. They have to struggle to show that their loss was not easy to bear. But somehow they're showing that it's all right. But inside they're bearing that loss with a pain. Now what was that loss? I'll repeat that again. The loss of her mother. The loss of her mother was the memories of childhood, the happy moment of childhood which was shown in the photograph. That is the happy time she had on the beach along with a cousin. She is laughing at the photograph, and inside there was a pain inside her because she cannot get those moments back. Now what is the pain of the poetess? The pain of the poetess is the happy and cheerful laughter of her mother while she was showing this photograph to her in the second stage here, because since her mother was dead long back, she cannot get that laughter again. That laughter is a memory for her also, a memory which she cannot get back. So somehow they had to struggle to show that this loss was easy to bear, and they just pretend to show that while that is not easy for them. So this is the second part of the poem. Now I will come to the third part of the poem now. Yes, children. Now we will come to the third part and the last part of the poem. I'll read it off for you. Now she's been dead nearly as many years as that girl lived. And of this circumstance there's nothing to say at all. It's silent silences. And these lines very beautiful. Now what she say now? She has been dead nearly as many years as that girl lived. Who is that girl? Why did she use the word that girl here for her mother? Because that happy moments, the happy face of her mother, that is thing of past now. And she couldn't believe that once there was that moment. So she has used the word that girl. So that girl, now she has been dead nearly as many years as that girl lived. Now how many years that girl lived? We have seen in the first part, that is when she was 12 years old. It means she has been dead for almost 12 years now. Okay, and of this circumstance. Now what is this circumstance? The circumstance of being happy on the sea beach. That is those happy moments of her mother. And of this circumstance there's nothing to say at all. So here we can say also that this circumstance means the present moment. We can use both things here. We can say that is a present moment means when her mother had been dead for almost 12 years. So, and of this circumstance, there is nothing to say at all. Why she used the word, there's nothing to say, because she is speechless. And once there was laughter in this house, and now her mother has been dead for long, so she could not say anything. She is almost speechless, and it leaves her silence. So that's why she's written, it's silence, silences. So it suggests a sense of finality which she cannot bear, and she cannot bear the absence of her mother also. Even it has been so long, even she has been dead for almost 12 years, but she still misses her mother so much that she cannot stand the silent moment, the silence of the house. Once there was laughter, but now there is silence, and the silence of the house silences her. She has no words, she is speechless, she has nothing to say. So, with these lines, I'll give an end to the poem, and I'll suggest that go through the poem, and I'm very sure you will enjoy. And once you go line by line with this poem, you will carry your own memories along with this, and you can, because all of you all also be having many happy moments and your childhood memories, so you can relate that along with this poem. Once you relate those happy moments with these lines, it will be very easy for you to understand it. So that was the end of a very lovely poem. Now let's come to the poetic devices used in this poem. I'll just make it fast. This is the cardboard. Cardboard was an illusion. Okay, second one is stood still to smile. That is alliteration because S and all repeated here. Okay, smile through the hair. That is imagery. Terribly transient feet. We have used two poetic devices. One is alliteration and the second one is transferred epithet. Next one is labored ease. We have used oxymoron over here. And the last one is silence. Again, two poetic devices are used here. One is alliteration and second one is personification. So with this, children, I'll give a break to the lesson today. See you again in next chapter tomorrow. Till then, have a very good time and thank you for listening.